It's 1995 and a nervous looking man has just won the $100,000 jackpot at Bally Park Casino.
He's the most notorious cheat of all time.
But the casino staff are suspicious.
Basically turned the gaff machines into his own personal ATMs.
Why isn't he more excited? And why is he wearing a hearing aid? He looks so young.
He almost got away with it.
Imagine cheating Vegas for 6 whole years without anyone noticing a thing. This is the story of an unsuspecting nerd who did exactly that. To understand how, we need to wind back to 1989. The rise of card counting and math-based gambling has led casinos to focus on video poker, slot machines and other forms of electronic gambling. It's a no-brainer, as slot machines earn on average from $200 to $300 per day. But it poses a new problem: computer nerds. Boasting over 100,000 digital gaming machines across the city, the Nevada Gaming Control Board needs the brightest intellects on its side. Ron Harris is their chief mastermind. With rapid developments in technology, computer specialists like Ron are paramount. Dollar by dollar, tourists feed more than $30 billion into machines that year. Ron's job is to understand and prevent foul play, in particular on the slot machines. Now, slot machines have become extremely popular because they're inviting, easy to play, there's no skill involved, and just about anyone can operate them. Each machine contains a small silicon chip and a microprocessor. They serve as the control center that dictates the rotation of the reels, and the reels are then propelled by miniature stepper motors. Casinos are fond of this new technology because it enables them to set the odds on each individual machine, and players love them because it presents a chance to win big from seemingly small stakes. However, this creates a significant challenge for the control board because they're the ones tasked with preventing both the casinos and cheaters from manipulating the machines. It's exactly why the board needs the brightest minds on their team. Solving advanced computer crimes isn't easy. In the middle of 1988, Ron Harris faces a significant challenge. The Gaming Control Board has been alerted by an anonymous source about a specific kind of video poker machine. They say that the machines are rigged to avoid paying out. These games in question are supplied by American Coin Enterprises, a company based in Las Vegas, and the machines have been distributed on a revenue sharing basis, which means the venues don't have to pay for the machines because both the venue and American Coin receive a percentage of the players' losses. It's a very strong incentive to rig the machine's pattern of play. The commission's new whiz kid is tasked with investigating. Could the company really be cheating Vegas gamblers? Harris initiates an investigation to uncover criminal instructions in the software. In the past, corrupt casinos could manipulate old mechanical slot machines by avoiding high-paying combinations, and the players could deceive the machines by using coins on strings, wires, or magnets. However, tampering with digital machine software is significantly more covert. Unlike interfering with the machine's physical components, malicious code remains invisible. The machine's motherboard controls the reels and presents the outcome to the player. The microprocessor carries out the instructions stored on 2 EEPROM devices. This is precisely what a potential slot cheat would aim to alter for financial gain. To detect malicious code, he must remove the suspect chipset from the motherboard and scrutinise its code line by line, carefully comparing it to an original supplied by the manufacturer. Now, Ron is determined to uncover any tampering if a chip has been altered. He starts his hunt at a local bar where the players have been complaining that the machines never produce a win beyond a mediocre level, and after intense analysis, he finds rogue code. The machine's rigged program prevents royal flushes from being hit when players bet the maximum number of coins. Furthermore, when the player is supposed to hit the jackpot, at the final moment, the last card blocks the win. This was a new problem, one that Ron was seeing for the first time. So Harris has proof that the machine's chipset has been tampered with. But the real question is, who did it? Looking for an inside man, Ron approaches a lead programmer at the company, Larry Volk. He doesn't quite understand how their chips work, and he's met Larry before, so it seems like the quickest way to get answers. Except Larry's behaviour is a bit strange. At first, he seems reluctant, making up a range of bizarre reasons as to why they can't meet just yet. He agrees to meet Ron, although he appears to be hiding something. Eventually, after much persistence, they meet him in a diner just out of town. Larry's extremely nervous to the point of sweating throughout their meeting.
Larry Volk was a very scared individual. He feared them. He didn't want to give up the secret.
No more than 5 minutes in, he admits that he altered the code for more than 500 of the company's machines. He says the company owners forced him to do it, and he claims they're not the type of people you say no to. This is massive. It's extremely embarrassing for the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Ron and many of Vegas's casinos. Shortly after, it transpires that the cheating resulted in $17 million in fraud over the last 3 years. In a bid to avoid prison, Larry agrees to stand witness against American Coin in court. Now this is key for Ron and the control board. However, things quickly turn sour when Volk's wife starts to receive threatening phone calls. It's a serious situation and they're now being intimidated and watched on a routine basis. Next, the unthinkable happens. Larry Volk is executed at point blank range while working on his car outside his home. Instantly dead. Their key and only witness to this crime is gone in an instant. Without Larry Volk as a witness, there isn't a case. This is a huge turning point because Ron feels let down by the system. He feels responsible, but he's powerless. The house has won once again. Facing financial problems of his own, it's time to get even. This nerdy computer geek is about to come up with the most ingenious and cunning crime Vegas has ever seen. With experience, brains, and a ton of envy for the establishment, Ron is ready to orchestrate the perfect crime. How he does it is genius. The American Coin scandal leads the Gaming Control Board to revise their approach to slot machine regulation. They craft a strategy to randomly verify the integrity of slot machines after installation. It's the best way to make sure they aren't rigged. Ron Harris is appointed to spearhead the program. Having seen how it was done previously, he sets about building the equipment and procedure for testing machine chips. An agent would conduct a surprise inspection at various casinos where they would connect a laptop to the back of the machine, extract the circuit board, remove the EEPROM device housing the software, and evaluate the program to confirm it matched the version approved by the Gaming Control Board. If the code on the chip failed to replicate the master copy held on record, it indicated the machine had been tampered with. Consequently, any machine found not to contain the authorized software would be taken out of circulation. What the control board doesn't know is that Ron has decided to pull a genius stunt. He's modified the programming equipment the testers will use so that as they are testing the machine, its chip would be corrupted with his own pre-programmed cheat code. But that's just the first part. Ron has a far grander plan ahead. Keen to see if his code has worked, using the records from the Gaming Control Board, he locates one of the slot machines that have been tested. The control board's new system details exactly which casino, floor, and place the tested machine stands at, so he positions himself at a compromised slot machine. It's risky because his job title forbids him from engaging with any machines in Vegas.
Anyone who works at the board is really not allowed to play in any casino. It's part of our contract when we sign on with the board.
Participating in gameplay presents a clear conflict of interest, but his burning desire to take down the house has taken over. He's configured the slot machine to trigger the jackpot after a precise sequence of coins are inserted into the machine rapidly one after the other. First, he inserts 3 coins, then 1, then 2, then 3, and finally 4. His heart is thumping out of his chest. Jackpot. The machine's chip recognises the cheat code and adds $200 to the slot machine's balance. That's around $500 in today's money. Now he knows it works, but he faces a problem. As any reputable winner will know, big payouts mean big attention. Exactly what he doesn't want. Frantically, he tries to play the credits away. Remarkably, he wins again. Overwhelmed with anxiety, his goal shifts to losing. This continues for a grueling 30 minutes. Having lost part of the accumulated balance, he decides to get up and quietly walk away. The next player can have the remaining credits. He's achieved his objective. He just wanted to confirm that his code had worked. Now he has a far bigger and far more dangerous task ahead. So far, no one suspects a thing. However, he was known in the casinos as a Nevada Control Board employee. He needs someone to play on his behalf. This is where a close friend comes in, Reed McNeil. When Harris asks McNeil to join him in cheating the casinos, McNeil can't believe his luck. Feeling no sympathy for the house, he quickly agrees. So the duo hit the casino floor for a test run. After locating the machine, Ron disappears into the background. McNeil methodically inserts the coins into the slot machine one after the other. Instant success. A few hours later, McNeil walks away with today's equivalent of $19,000 in his back pocket. The sweetest part? Nobody suspects a thing. Between October of 1992 and the beginning of 1995, the pair repeat this trick over and over again.
This is working out. Between 1992 and 1995, Ron Harris pulled off the greatest cheating escapade in the history of Nevada.
But he's smart, incredibly smart. Ron makes sure that neither he nor McNeil spend the money on frivolous items. No expensive watches, no fancy cars, nothing. But Ron is anxious. He knows there's one issue with what they've been doing. Every time a slot machine is corrupted with the cheat code, it leaves a trail that could lead back to him. He wants to develop a better way of cheating the house, one that can't lead back to him, one that will provide massive payouts with no risk at all. This thinking leads him to his biggest stunt of all.
If you could make large amounts of money off it, that'd be great, yeah.
Much like the lottery, Keno requires players to choose numbers on a ticket and match them with a sequence that is then drawn. Typically, casino players have to choose 8 numbers and pay as little as $1. There's a 1 in 230,000 chance of picking all 8 numbers. But Ron has another cunning plan. In his role at the gaming control board, Ron has unrestricted access to Keno programming known as imageering. Through diligent analysis of the software, he learns the secret to forecasting the winning numbers is embedded within the computer's code, specifically in the code governing the random number generators for the Keno game. Harris becomes fixated on the algorithm that generates these numbers. Over time, he concludes that the so-called random number generator is not entirely random, but operates based on an intricate mathematical formula. By cracking this formula, he believes he'll be able to accurately predict the outcome of the draws using some of the last-minute variables. He calls his friend Reed once more. Now, he needs him to play Keno on his behalf. An Atlantic City is their target. It's January 1995, and they're about to attempt the biggest scam in Keno history. The potential return? $100,000 each time. As they see it, the hundreds of cameras, casino staff, and muscle in the control room will be none the wiser.
No one should be able, at any given point in time, to be able to predict what the outcome is going to be.
It's the evening before they're hit, and Reed arrives at the Atlantic City Hotel first. The two have agreed to meet in reception, but Ron isn't there. He thinks nothing of it and checks into his room and hands over his passport. He leaves a memo with reception so Ron knows which room he's in when he arrives. After missing his initial flight, Ron turns up 6 hours later. The next morning, both men prepare themselves in their hotel room. Ron will remain there so he can monitor the casino's Keno results via the television in his room. By entering the previous draw's numbers into his computer, he can predict the next draw. They've pre-planned the communication. Ron will transmit the numbers that Reed McNeil should play from the hotel room via an altered hearing aid. And now it's time. Reed is seated in the casino's Keno area, anxiously waiting for Ron to send him the selections. Back in the hotel room, Ron tracks the TV screen and punches the details into his computer. He passes the expected combination to Reed via their secret earpiece. Failure. Despite the numbers being close, they're not right. They try again. 4, 12, 22, 36, 46, 53, 57, 71. Bingo. They're in the money. Now, they just need to collect the winnings and get the hell out of there. But there's a problem once more. Their meticulous planning stopped at the point of winning, and now, a very nervous Reed McNeil is attempting to collect the $100,000 jackpot from some extremely suspicious casino staff. The teller asks him for his ID, and he provides it. After what seems like forever, the teller returns and explains that collecting that amount of cash might take a while. They offer to bring it up to his room, so he agrees and gives them the room number. It's a fatal mistake. When he gets back up to the room, Ron bursts into a blind panic. Reed doesn't realise what he's just done. In giving the casino staff his ID and room number, the room bookings, registration, the reception memo, the jackpot and the pair are now directly linked. Worse still, the casino's security boss knows Ron. Next, 3 heavy-set casino staff appear at Reed's hotel room door. They want a quiet word, in a back room, downstairs. They say they have some questions. With no other options available, he goes with them. Meanwhile, Ron is frantically packing his bag and clearing the room upstairs. He takes all of his computer equipment and makes a run for the airport. When he lands in Las Vegas a few hours later, staff from the Nevada Gaming Commission, along with the police, are waiting for him. The game is up. Because of this one simple mistake, everything is exposed. The hundreds of slot machines with rigged computer code, 3 years worth of slot cheating, the Keno win, everything is all out in the open. In June of 1996, he's given a 7-year prison sentence and entered into Nevada's Black Book alongside other big-time casino cheats. Here's one of them in the next video, please check it out.